Welcome to No Excuses. My name is Mary Fran and it is time to get in the kitchen. So here we go. So we are in the kitchen today and I am so excited because I actually like to cook. I think it's part of what makes me, what makes me awesome, because I like to cook, I like to bake, and I think I do a pretty decent job. Now, today's recipe is kind of something that I made years ago and I forgot about. And as we've been shopping, I've been seeing that we've been buying a certain product a lot, and it is a processed product, the Belvita bars, and specifically the soft bake. And I started thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I used to make an oatmeal bake that would be very comparable to this. It is more financially feasible to make your own, and it is not processed foods. So we are actually trying to get away from more processed foods. So I pulled out this recipe and I made it. Now, the recipe that I'm making, you can change it up in so many different ways. And today we are going to be making it with banana and cinnamon. But last week I actually made it with strawberries and chocolate chips. So it can be done with any kind of fruit, any kind of add-ins, and it is delicious. So let's get to it because this is a really, really easy recipe and it tastes great. So today for the recipe, we don't need a whole lot of ingredients. We need brown sugar. We need rolled oats, the quick oats. We need yogurt, milk, butter, 2 eggs, and some baking powder. So not a whole lot. Now, as I said, I am going to be making banana ones. So I also have a couple bananas and some cinnamon. These are the optional items. You can make it without. You can put in whatever fruit you have. You can do anything you want. So here we go. Let's see how we make this. So I'm starting today with my non-fat Greek yogurt. Now, if I was making like the strawberry batch, you can get the non-fat yogurt with the flavoring in it, which would actually help flavor the whole thing. But in lieu of that, I am just going to use the plain, and we need 6 ounces. Now, I have more than 6 ounces here, and I've been using this for this batches. So let's go ahead, and I got my scale here, and we're going to weigh it out. So here we go. I'm going to tear out my bowl. And I need 6 ounces, so I'm just going to start plopping some in and see what we got. 5.8. Man, I am scraping the bottom. But I have been making this for like 2 weeks with this, so that is the end of my yogurt. I'm a little bit over, but I'm fine with that. So I'm done with my scale, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. And now I'm just going to start putting stuff in. Now, the one thing that you do need is your butter is going to need to be melted. You are going to need 2 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those into a bowl. And Kiwi is talking to us. And I'm going to go ahead and get that melted. It's not going to take long. I'll move that aside. We are going to need 2 eggs. Yes, I know I should be mixing that into another one and before I pour it in, but you know, hey, I'm living on the edge. No shells, we're good. We are going to need 1/2 cup packed brown sugar. So I'm going to take my brown sugar, and we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to dig in, and it is nice and packed. Should come out as a whole solid. It did, so I know I packed it well. I heard my microwave go off with my butter, so let's go ahead and pour that in. There we go for that. I need 1 cup of milk. I happen to have 2%, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. You could use whatever you have. Obviously, 2% fat-free is going to cut down on your calories or your points or whatever you are counting, so that's a good thing. I'm next going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. There's my half. And Here is my hole, and Kiwi is trying to help me with this video. Zoe is just behind me on the floor, just chewing on a bone. Last but not least, we are just going to add 3 cups of quick oats. There's 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and some fell on the ground. That'll make Zoe happy. And then here's where we're going to have the fun, because we're just going to take whatever bananas you want to add. I think I'm going to add 2, maybe 3. I haven't decided yet. I'm just going to use my butter knife. And I'm just going to add in bananas. Now, you could mash them if you wanted to. However, I'm just going to cut them in half and then slice them down. And I'm not doing them too big, because I kind of do like to get that little, bite of banana in there. And I do have a dog waiting for me, and she likes to share bananas, so I just gave her a little piece of the end, so she'll be hopefully happy. But she obviously smells the banana, and maybe that's why Kiwi is yelling too, because in the mornings when I have my banana for breakfast, I must share my banana with my bird, and I must share my banana with my dog. So I really only probably get 1/4 of a banana every morning. They sit and wait patiently. I make them wave. I make Kiwi, the bird, wave at me when I do it. And I make Zoe, the dog, shake my hand for her banana. So in the morning, they get their banana break with me. And let's just go ahead and leave it as 2. That'll give me something a little bit more to do. And I'm going to save a little bit for Kiwi, because that's just not nice. And I'll give a little bit more to Zoe. Okay, so here we are. The last thing is cinnamon. I don't have a measurement. I just sprinkle it in because I like cinnamon. And then it's just a thing of let's mix this puppy up. And I do it by hand, but there's no reason to not do it by hand. To do it with my mixer, it's really not a very heavy, it's not a very hard process. And it is going to be, and the batter is not going to be loose like a cake. It's going to be a little bit more thick, like maybe a little bit looser than a cookie, a little bit thicker than a cake. So you can kind of see it's kind of a consistency like that. So getting some of my dirty dishes out of here. So this recipe is actually going to make a 9x9 pan. You want to spray your pan with a cooking spray. I a lot of times use the Misto because it is another thing that saves me money and it is healthier than all that aerosol. And then you're just simply going to go ahead and fill up your pan with your cake batter, with your oatmeal bake. I usually just push it around, make it nice and flat. And then because I do like that cinnamon, I am just going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on for garnish or whatever you want to call it. And voila, we are done with this portion of it. Now the only thing left to do is bake it. I'm going to put it in an oven, a 350-degree oven. It will be in there for about 35 to 40 minutes.
Tastes delicious. This will be perfect for breakfasts. And the other thing is it will be perfect because you can cut them and you can freeze them and pull them out when you want. I typically make a double batch. I'm only making a single batch today simply because I only have a little bit of the Greek yogurt left. So that's all it is. Easy, tasty, wonderful. And it can be changed up, like I said, and even better, just slice it, freeze it, and you can pull these out for a quick breakfast on the go. Wonderful, wonderful thing. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you try these, put it in the comments below and let me know what you think. And in the meantime, no excuses.